Hey guys, how's it going? So today I will be talking about how to get your first remote job. And remote jobs are like becoming a thing, especially among Gen Zs and millennials. Like let's flash back to a couple of years ago. It's compulsory like resume to work, but in this current generation, everybody's really shouting remote jobs because of like the um, positive sides of remote jobs, or like the advantage you have if you're working in a remote job, which is the flexibility of your work time and the comfort zone. But the thing is, as much as everybody is trying to get into remote jobs, the reality is that it's also not easy to get into remote jobs, especially if we are talking about foreign remote jobs. And it's becoming like a buzz where we have so many people interested in so many roles, but the number of hires are like there's a very very big gap. So you have been trying desperately to get a remote job, and if you're just watching this, you can actually go watch the previous video where I talked about breakfasting jobs. Like most times people that are earning huge, what I mean huge, like that are earning foreign currency, they don't get to share with you the breakfast that they have experienced. And breakfast in quotes means the heartbreaks they've experienced from applying for different roles before they finally hit the one that changed their lives. But this video is not just only about getting a foreign remote job, but it's just about getting any remote job, whether in your country, Nigeria, if you're in Nigeria, whatever country you're watching this from, or getting it outside of Nigeria. So if you've been trying to get a remote job and you not succeeded at it, then pay attention. So the first thing first you need to know is there's a difference between having a skill and getting a job. So currently we have a lot of employers complaining that the talents that are available are not qualified. They're not qualified enough to work. Excuse me. The talent available are not qualified enough to work for their companies, and that's the truth. The truth is that that you have a skill does not mean you are automatically qualified to get a job. So literally we have so many people taking courses on Udemy, on Coursera, on Skillshare, on all these platforms to like acquire their skills, but they are still not qualified enough to get a job. So first thing you need to know, if you are on this job path and you are really trying to get a job, is first understand that the fact that you have a skill is not automatically a passport to get a job. Your skill needs to also be equated with experience. Now the reason why I'm saying this is I've met with so many folks who they tell me that they've taken a course for like 3 months, and the next thing is they begin to try to apply for jobs. Fine, it's good to try your luck, but it not just based on the time frame, like 3 months. Well, after 3 months I'm supposed to begin to get a job or something like that. But there is a way to actually, it's very important that you test your skill to get the experience out of it. And most times than not, it's not like directly a wise idea to want to just throw yourself into the job market. You could probably go for internships with a startup or some other things like that. Like find a way to apply what you've learned, the skill you've acquired, because whether or not you even pass the first interview phase, by the time they're going through the interview process, since you might be bounced back when they realize that you don't have enough experience. So fine. If you've also been having issues with getting a remote job, the first suggestion I would give to you is start with freelancing. Now the reason why, remember, there's so many job platforms out there. We have Jobberman for Nigerians, people that are very familiar with the Nigerian platform. We have Jobberman, we have just so many of them, but the competition for getting into these roles is just so high. So remote jobs, sometimes the best way to start is to start by freelancing. And there are two major freelancing platforms. Freelancing too is actually a way to work remotely, because what you're doing is whoever is giving you projects or gigs to do is not in your current location. So two platforms that I would recommend that are actually popular platforms to freelance on are Fiverr and Upwork. Fiverr have been existent for a very very long time. I have used Fiverr. I used Fiverr like 5 years ago, and I made some money off Fiverr. Then Upwork, so I've used Upwork. So the first platform is actually, you can try Fiverr out. Fiverr, the competition of Fiverr is so much because there are so many people using it, and the amount of money that the clients would want to pay you sometimes if you're not experienced would be very, very ridiculous for a start. Like for a start, then they pay very ridiculous amounts. But the thing with freelancing is it gives you that experience. It gives you a lot of projects to add to your portfolio. That okay, I have done this portfolio, because getting a remote job is actually dependent on how much or how well you can contribute to the company that you want to work with. Do you understand? So start with Fiverr. If you don't know how to actually go for all these top companies, and probably they've been bouncing your emails, all your emails has been about like rejection, start with Fiverr. Go and open an account on Fiverr, set up your profile. If you do not set up your profile, you have YouTube and Google. Just watch videos on YouTube and Google to give you information on how you can actually build a very, very reasonable, profitable, a very, very catchy Fiverr account. And if you don't want to use Fiverr, use Upwork. So put up your profile, begin to bid for jobs. The first few months might be frustrating because you might not be getting results, but if you do it right and you learn from somebody that is actually that has gone through it on YouTube, there are so many informational contents around that. Within a short time, like, you will be able to like navigate how you can confidently bid for jobs and get jobs. By the time you begin to bid for jobs and you are increasing the projects you're working on, your price begins to shoot up, and at the same time your confidence for the project begins to increase, and you have a lot of projects in your portfolio that you can say, oh, this is what I have done, and this is the results. Then I can actually go pitch for jobs. So start with freelancing if you have been having issues with going directly to companies. But if you've tried freelancing and you've built a profitable portfolio, then I would suggest the best a couple of platforms that you can actually get very good remote jobs. The first one I'm going to be talking about is AngelList. AngelList is actually, if you don't have an AngelList account, go open an AngelList account. An AngelList account is like one easy way to actually get very good jobs, because there's thousands of jobs on AngelList that are actually posted constantly. So build your AngelList profile to be really, really catchy. My AngelList profile is catchy, that I've had a lot of CEOs and recruiters reach out to me via AngelList when they are trying to search for somebody with that particular experience. So build your AngelList profile. You start with AngelList, or if you don't want to use AngelList, you can use another thing you can do is you can actually join communities. So the reason why I'm going to mention like a couple of platforms. I've mentioned AngelList. Joining communities too is another way to, like, number two, I've mentioned freelancing, which is the first thing. Two, I'm supposed to have said this, direct job hunting. So direct job hunting means you're trying to reach the companies directly to apply because you feel like you're qualified. So I've mentioned AngelList. Two is actually communities, and there are so many communities on Slack that most people miss out on. And I remember when I was learning a particular skill, I joined the community on Slack, and I got to realize that for the role I thought I was experienced in, I wasn't so experienced. So I had to go pay attention to the requirements for that particular role and discover that, oh, these are the other things I need to learn to be experienced enough to fit into this role. And I paid attention to them, updated my resume, and then directly through those groups, because there are lots of people that would actually be posting job updates on those groups, you can actually also like pitch directly to them. So AngelList, Indeed.com is another way to actually apply directly to jobs. Like it's a marketplace for jobs, Indeed.com. So also you can actually, like, your job hunting, right? You want to get a remote job. The remote jobs will not just walk down to you and come and meet you and get it. So set up an AngelList profile, set up an Indeed profile too as well, update your details, then also set up a profile on Glassdoor.com. So I probably would add this to the effects when I'm editing this video. So AngelList, Indeed, Glassdoor, these are like three top job profiles that I am aware of. Glassdoor would also give you recommendations based on how much the company makes, the salaries they would, projected salaries that you would earn if you're going to be working with the company. And yeah, so first thing first, try freelancing if you want to start with remote jobs. Two, do direct job hunting, which I told you to set up a bio on AngelList, set up a bio on Indeed, set up a bio on AngelList. Then you can actually join communities. Just go to Google. What you can do on Google is just search how to communities for my for so and so skill. Let me see. Let me just try writers. I'm coming. Slack group for writers. So it brought out a lot of different groups. So if you type Slack group for your particular niche, you will see it. You would see the link to the group. Join them. By the time you join them, on the different channels on those group, you would see most of them have job listing there. So constantly check out this job listing. This is a secret most people don't know. Constantly check out those job listings there. Try to apply or try to pitch directly to the person that brings out the job listing there. Then there are a couple of other ones, but it depends on the industry. There is Product Hunt. Product Hunt is a platform where founders come to share their latest products. But the secret to working with Product Hunt is once a founder comes to announce that we've raised a particular amount of series or blah blah blah, most times they're not. They would want to hire. So if you get to reach out to them via that means, you can actually secure a job opportunity there. So it's actually also a way to actually get a remote job. So try Product Hunt. Where Product Hunt is basically for product designers, product guys. There is DGMG jobs. There is Superpath. But these are like within the confines of marketing. So if you're into marketing, just take this as like a bonus to you above every other person else. There is DGMG. Just type DGMG jobs or type Superpath jobs. So there are many communities like that they personally have like exclusive job offers where founders directly just push their job available positions open there. So the purpose of all of this is to reduce the stress that it will cost you to actually secure a remote job. At the same time, there is the last thing I'm going to be talking about is the secrets to pitching for a remote job. So fine, you've had access to these jobs, like you are aware that there is a job opportunity open and there are fewer people applying for it. How do you ensure that you get it? Because that you applied for a job does not automatically mean you will get it. And like the last video, remember I told you to go watch the last video I shared. I said it was about breakfast in jobs. The fact that many people have eaten breakfast and they've been heartbroken by different job offers. Some people throughout the whole year they've been getting rejections. Like what does it start with? We appreciate the time that you took to apply for these jobs. Unfortunately, we will not be moving forward with your application. We'll try to keep your application. In the future, we'll get to reach out to you if you're like a good fit. But while that sounds good, at the same time, it's heartbreaking. So how do you reduce your chances of being heartbroken when you're trying to apply for jobs? There are just three common things you need to do. One is that you should ensure that you have your portfolio solid. I always say this: if your portfolio is not solid, it might be detrimental to you because you are trying to stand a chance against. Remember, you're not the only one applying for these jobs. Two, the CEOs are at the same time, the people that are trying to hire, they are looking for a specification. They know what they want for their company to actually move to the next phase. They have quarterly goals and the like. So let your bio reflect your experience. Then how you pitch also matters, and I'm not going to be talking about that in this video. Maybe I'm going to make a video on the pitching secrets for jobs so that you will get to understand. And if you've been able to watch this to this point and you've gone to watch the previous video or like go watch the video on breakfast in jobs, you should subscribe to this channel. The reason is within a short time our goal is to ensure that if you're trying to venture into tech and the creative industry, that you succeed in your career in the tech and in the creative industry. So we'll definitely be sharing lots of resources via videos, via PDF template guides that can actually help you secure your first remote job, secure your second remote job, actually also help you grow in your career in the tech and in the creative industry. So this is Climber, and subscribe, turn on post notifications, share this with your friend. Like, this information is obviously valuable and your friends definitely would need it to reduce the number of people that are getting heartbroken every year and that are still out there with skills and don't have jobs. So till the next video, Once your post notification is turned off, obviously you will get notified about the next video. So do this, and you can drop your comments in the comment section about the experiences you've had wherever you're watching this, and talk about it. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. So yeah, this is Ajayi Joel, and to the next video, just keep believing in yourself and in what you're doing.